building society. Every deposit got me here. Every step forward put me in the driver's seat.
For everything you're looking forward to, open an iSave account today. Visit gotomyvm.com to get started.
Every $25,000 you save with iSave earns an entry to win cash or a new home of your own. The more you save, the more entries you get, and every entry has a chance to win a brand new home of your own. VM iSave is the key to winning.
Here's to the early risers, and we are here all-nighters, the go the extra milers, and let's do it until it works, workers. People who are powerful, because they power through, day after day, challenge after challenge. You see, true power is not something you can buy or collect. It's something that starts on the inside, and you always know it when you see it. Sunshine Snacks Peanuts, proud supporters of the powerful.
Ray and Never, feel we culture, yo!
New beginning, we winning, so share our spirit where you living, yeah.
Share it!
I make we all a one par, you don't know we come from far.
From far, anytime we rep, feel we country. Rear rum, it have to come with we.
No matter with the bad vibes.
Poor rear rum, a celebration time.
I feel we culture. Make we show ya Jamaican culture.
Ray and Never, overproof from we just a do it for we culture.
A CB chicken, a better way. Introducing air chill chicken. It have more flavor, you don't know what you're missing. It tastes better, full of flavor in the kitchen. Better value, better taste, better chicken. CB chicken, tastes way better. Air chilled chicken, tastes way better. Better value, better taste, better chicken. No antibiotic and hormone free. Have you tasted the new air chilled chicken? Or my chicken nut? CB chicken, it tastes way better.
iSave from VM Building Society. Every deposit got me here. Every step forward put me in the driver's seat.
For everything you're looking forward to, open an iSave account today. Visit gotomyvm.com to get started.
Every $25,000 you save with iSave earns an entry to win cash or a new home of your own. The more you save, the more entries you get, and every entry has a chance to win a brand new home of your own. VM iSave is the key to winning.
Here's to the early risers, and we are here all-nighters, the go the extra milers, and let's do it until it works, workers. People who are powerful, because they power through, day after day, challenge after challenge. You see, true power is not something you can buy or collect. It's something that starts on the inside, and you always know it when you see it. Sunshine Snacks Peanuts, proud supporters of the powerful.
Ray and Never, feel we culture, yo!
New beginning, we winning, so share our spirit where you living, yeah.
Share it!
I make we all a one par, you don't know we come from far.
From far, anytime we rep, feel we country. Rear rum, it have to come with we.
No matter with the bad vibes.
Poor rear rum, a celebration time.
I feel we culture. Make we show ya Jamaican culture.
Ray and Never, overproof from we just a do it for we culture.
A CB chicken, a better way. Introducing air chill chicken. It have more flavor, you don't know what you're missing. It tastes better, full of flavor in the kitchen. Better value, better taste, better chicken. CB chicken, tastes way better. Air chilled chicken, tastes way better. Better value, better taste, better chicken. No antibiotic and hormone free. Have you tasted the new air chilled chicken? Or my chicken nut? CB chicken, it tastes way better.
iSave from VM Building Society. Every deposit got me here. Every step forward put me in the driver's seat.
For everything you're looking forward to, open an iSave account today. Visit gotomyvm.com to get started.
Every $25,000 you save with iSave earns an entry to win cash or a new home of your own. The more you save, the more entries you get, and every entry has a chance to win a brand new home of your own. VM iSave is the key to winning.
Here's to the early risers, and we are here all-nighters, the go the extra milers, and let's do it until it works, workers. People who are powerful, because they power through, day after day, challenge after challenge. You see, true power is not something you can buy or collect. It's something that starts on the inside, and you always know it when you see it. Sunshine Snacks Peanuts, proud supporters of the powerful.
Ray and Never, feel we culture. Yo!
New beginning, we winning, so share our spirit where you living, yeah.
Share it.
I make we all a one par, you don't know we come from far.
From far, anytime we rep, feel we country. Rear rum, it have to come with we.
No matter with the bad vibes.
Poor rear rum, a celebration time.
I feel we culture. Make we show ya Jamaican culture.
Ray and Never, overproof from we just a do it to we culture.
A CB chicken, a better way. Introducing air chill chicken. It have more flavor, you don't know what you're missing. It tastes better, full of flavor in the kitchen. Better value, better taste, better chicken. CB chicken, tastes way better. Air chilled chicken, tastes way better. Better value, better taste, better chicken. No,
Jamaica Premier League. It's a semi-final. We just saw a very tense one, a close one, decided by very little, to be honest. An own goal in the end by Adrian Reed Jr., giving Montego Bay United the victory against Cavalier in that first leg. I'm sure the second leg will be just as close. I'm Leger Williams. I'm joined by John Stewart. And we have another special guest. Could you believe it? Could you really believe it? A lot of these Jamaica Premier League players during the off season, if they want to get a little bit sharper, even in the middle of the season, if they just want to do a little bit of extra work, you may think that they don't do the extra work, but behind the scenes, they're always working. And speaking of people who are always working, I'm joined by a very good friend of mine, Mikhail Lumsden, the man behind Mickey Lab, the man behind several of the Jamaica Premier League players, schoolboy football players, youth players, evolving and getting better all throughout the year. First of all, I have to ask you, what led to you starting Mickey Lab? What was the passion behind it?
Well, good night, bro. Well, really and truly, it was just, it was out of nothing, really. I've always loved football, so one of my clients, Tyre Maggie, my first client actually, just posted something in his snap, and I just swiped up and I said, let me train you. And I think from that day, he saw something in me, and he told me to push on, keep going, and from there it was just this.
And speaking of Tyreek McGee, he of course is seen as one of the best talents Jamaica has produced in quite some time. He has at some points been without a club, so I'm sure that you have been integral in him now getting back confidence, moving to the USL once more and proving his quality.
Yeah, definitely. I was there when he moved to Mount Pleasant, and then from Mount Pleasant to the USL, where he scored a stunner the other day. So just giving confidence, I think, was his driving factor, because he has the quality already.
And you speak about Mount Pleasant. We are just about to see them in action in the semi-final first leg, taking on Portmore. And for Portmore United, you have worked with a couple of those players. Ronaldo Robinson, who scored a brace in the quarter-final first leg. And more importantly, well, not more importantly, also Matthew Bell, who has made a move over. Many of the Jamaican fans might not be aware of Matthew Bell's quality, but I'm sure you know all about it.
Oh, definitely. Matthew Bell is more family, so I've known him since he was young, and he has developed, out of my hands very well. But, with him, you can see the rawness in, how he moves the ball and how he thinks the game. So, as well as Ronaldo Robinson, he's two-footed, but you guys barely see that. I've seen both sides of the coins, and, it's great to see them, just excelling in what they're doing.
So we've heard the pedigree of the players that you work with, the quality of them as well. Before we move on to the game, where can the people find you, connect with you? Because I'm sure there are aspiring footballers all across Jamaica and beyond, of course, that would love to work with a trainer of your quality.
Yeah, well, I'm on Instagram, mickey.lab_. And, you know, I tend to answer very fast. So
He answers me fast. Don't worry, people. He will answer you guys fast as well. And if anything, you can even message me as well, and I'll get you in contact speedily also. Mickey, thank you very much for your time, and I'm sure we'll be seeing some of the fruits of your labor on the pitch today.
Yeah, man. Thank you, bro. Thanks for having me.
And John, speaking of fruits of the labor, Portmore, Mount Pleasant, I have to ask you quickly before we move on to this fixture. What are your expectations and your predictions? Shoot it at me.
Expectations, I'll have to say, I think it's going to be much like the first leg rather than the second. I think Mount Pleasant just have too much firepower up front, and they're going to score a couple of goals. I'm predicting probably a rather comfortable win for Mount Pleasant, actually.
I actually think this first leg is going to be quite tight, quite tense amongst these two teams. I think Portmore United are pragmatic enough to, at the very minimum is to stop Mount Pleasant in this game, and then maybe in the second leg we'll see those adjustments, and then we'll see a much more open encounter. So for me, I know people, I told you guys to bet the 1-1 draw. You shouldn't have listened to everything I said. You could have just listened to some. The draw would have gotten you some money as well. But for this one, I'm also going to bank on a draw. But like how I got the last result wrong, I'll just say that it will be a draw between Portmore and Mount Pleasant. John says it will be a dominant Mount Pleasant victory. For me, we'll just have to wait and see. After this break, we'll have the mammoth encounter. Portmore United, 7-time champs. Mount Pleasant, reigning Caribbean Cup champs, taking on each other. Semi-final first leg action. It's a Ray and Nephew Jamaica Premier League semi-final first leg. Stay tuned.
Better than pocket money. And if you can't catch Quaco, you catch him short. Just like the proverb, Bosco Oats is ingrained in Jamaica. From me yai there me knee, Mummy used to always remind me of those good old Jamaican proverbs to keep me wise. Proverbs like, what goat do, kid follow. Good friend, better than pocket money. And if you can't catch Quaco, you catch him short. Just like the proverb, Bosco Oats is ingrained in Jamaica. From me yai there me knee, Mummy used to always remind me of those good old Jamaican proverbs to keep me wise. Proverbs like, what goat do, kid follow. Good friend, better than pocket money. And if you can't catch Quaco, you catch him short. Just like the proverb, Bosco Oats is ingrained in Jamaica. From me yai there me knee, Mummy used to always remind me of those good old Jamaican proverbs to keep me wise. Proverbs like, what goat do, kid follow. Good friend, better than pocket money. And if you can't catch Quaco, you catch him short. Just like the proverb, Bosco Oats is ingrained in Jamaica.
Antibiotic and hormone free. Have you tasted the new air chilled chicken? Or my chicken nut? CB chicken. It tastes way better.
I save from VM Building Society. Every deposit got me here. Every step forward put me in the driver's seat.
For everything you're looking forward to, open an iSave account today. Visit gotomyvm.com to get started.
Every $25,000 you save with iSave earns an entry to win cash or a new home of your own. The more you save, the more entries you get, and every entry has a chance to win a brand new home of your own. VM iSave is the key to winning.
Here's to the early risers, and we are here all-nighters, the go the extra milers, and let's do it until it works, workers. People who are powerful, because they power through, day after day, challenge after challenge. You see, true power. It's not something you can buy or collect. It's something that starts on the inside, and you always know it when you see it. Sunshine Snacks Peanuts, proud supporters of the powerful.
Ray and Never, feel we culture, yo!
New beginning, we winning, so share our spirit where you living, yeah.
Share it!
I make we all a one par, you don't know we come from far.
From far, anytime we rep, feel we country. Rear rum, it have to come with me.
No matter with the bad vibes.
Poor rear rum, a celebration time.
I feel we culture. Make we show ya Jamaican culture.
Ray and Never, overproof from we just a do it to we culture.
A CB chicken, a better way. Introducing air chill chicken. It have more flavor, you don't know what you're missing. It tastes better, full of flavor in the kitchen. Better value, better taste, better chicken. CB chicken, tastes way better. Air chilled chicken, taste way better. Better value, better taste, better chicken. No antibiotic and hormone free. Have you tasted the new air chilled chicken? Or my chicken nut? CB chicken, it tastes way better.
I save from VM Building Society. Every deposit got me here. Every step forward put me in the driver's seat.
For everything you're looking forward to, open an iSave account today. Visit gotomyvm.com to get started.
Every $25,000 you save with iSave earns an entry to win cash or a new home of your own. The more you save, the more entries you get, and every entry has a chance to win a brand new home of your own. VM iSave is the key to winning.
Here's to the early risers, and we are here all-nighters, the go the extra milers, and let's do it until it works, workers. People who are powerful, because they power through, day after day, challenge after challenge. You see, true power is not something you can buy or collect. It's something that starts on the inside, and you always know it when you see it. Sunshine Snacks Peanuts, proud supporters of the powerful.
Ray and Never, feel we culture, yo!
New beginning, we winning, so share our spirit where you living, yeah.
Share it!
I make we all a one par, you don't know we come from far.
From far, anytime we rep, feel we country. Rear rum, it have to come with me.
No matter with the bad vibes.
Poor rear rum, a celebration time.
I feel we culture. Make we show ya Jamaican culture.
Ray and Never, overproof from we just a do it to we culture.
A CB chicken, a better way. Introducing air chill chicken. It have more flavor, you don't know what you're missing. It tastes better, full of flavor in the kitchen. Better value, better taste, better chicken. CB chicken, tastes way better. Air chilled chicken, taste way better. Better value, better taste, better chicken. No antibiotic and hormone free. Have you tasted the new air chilled chicken? Or my chicken nut? CB chicken, it tastes way better.
I save from VM Building Society. Every deposit got me here. Every step forward put me in the driver's seat.
For everything you're looking forward to, open an iSave account today. Visit gotomyvm.com to get started.
Every $25,000 you save with iSave earns an entry to win cash or a new home of your own. The more you save, the more entries you get, and every entry has a chance to win a brand new home of your own. VM iSave is the key to winning.
Here's to the early risers, and we are here all-nighters, the go the extra milers, and let's do it until it works, workers. People who are powerful, because they power through, day after day, challenge after challenge. You see, true power is not something you can buy or collect. It's something that starts on the inside, and you always know it when you see it. Sunshine Snacks Peanuts, proud supporters of the powerful.
Ray and Never, feel we culture, yo!
New beginning, we winning, so share our spirit where you living, yeah.
Share it!
I make we all a one par, you don't know we come from far.
From far, anytime we rep, feel we country. Rear rum, it have to come with me.
No matter with the bad vibes.
Poor rear rum, a celebration time.
I feel we culture. Make we show ya Jamaican culture.
Ray and Never, overproof from we just a do it to we culture.
A CB chicken. A better
Good evening and welcome to the National Stadium for the semi-finals or the first leg of the semi-finals of the Ray Nephew Premier League of the 2025-2026 season. I'm your Oxford. Along with me is John Stewart for this one as Mount Pleasant Football Academy take on Portmore United 1 versus 3. And John, it's said to be a very exciting one.
Most definitely. We just had an exciting game just a few moments ago with Montego Bay pulling off the win thanks to a late goal. But I'm expecting a similar amount of drama and excitement in this one. Perhaps going to be a very, very different affair. We saw Cavaliers sit back and be rather content to just try to hit on the break. I expect Portmore to be just a tad more expansive in their approach. But nevertheless, this promises to be a good game.
Portmore United have played already 2 games in the last 7 days. A draw against Racing United 3-3, and then beating them 2-0 to earn themselves this spot here in the semi-final. How much of a disadvantage, and if you want to play the other side of it, an advantage is it? Mount Pleasant, they have sat out for a week. Portmore would have played twice.
Of course, it's the old debate in football. Rust, does it really have that much of an effect, especially in cases like this in playoff football, where you perhaps want to come in with a bit more, I guess for lack of a better word, you want to come in feeling prepared and having that game time under your belt more recently. But nevertheless, we saw Coach Xavier Gilbert assure us that the rest won't affect his team, and they surely didn't. They looked the more well-rested team. They outplayed Cavalier, really. I'm expecting a similar level of fitness from the Mount Pleasant players. Definitely expecting them to dominate position, and I'm expecting a big performance from the team in blue.
Not only dominate possession, but they've dominated Portmore for the most of their Premier League life. The last 5 meetings, Portmore only winning once, 1 playing to a draw, while 3 are in the win column for Mount Pleasant.
Of course, even this season, of the 3 encounters that they had, Mount Pleasant won 2 of them. And of course, between them, sandwiched a 1-1 draw. I'm definitely expecting the confidence to be high for the team from St. Anne. They have got the better of Portmore, as you mentioned before, especially in recent history. So the confidence is most definitely going to be there.
You must add it was a 4-1 hammering of Portmore United, and a man that Mount Pleasant will be looking for today is the man who leads the goal scoring charts with 22 goals, Raheem Edwards. He's really become that star-like player in the league.
Yeah, he had a decent season last year as well. I believe got double digits, but this year he's ascended into stardom, really, as even especially towards the back end of the season when they needed to really push to get the league title on the wraps. He really stepped up in his last 6 games. I believe he scored in all 6 of them, and he's just been on absolute red-hot form. So I'm expecting him to make a huge impact tonight.
On the other side, Portmore United will be looking to their talisman, Ronaldo Robinson. Only 10 goals from him, though, this season so far, but nonetheless, double digits.
Yes, definitely. Of course, Portmore United not necessarily as gung-ho going forward as Mount Pleasant. They tend to favor control in terms of just being sitting back and just allowing the game to come to them, and when they get a chance they take it, and that has led to them having such a great defense. Of course, both of these 2 teams boasting top 4 records in terms of goals conceded over the course of the season, so does bode well.
Tonight's Jamaica Premier League playoff presentation is proudly brought to you by our valued partners who continue to power the growth of Jamaican football. Special thanks to Ray and Nephew, the official title partners of the Jamaica Premier League. Visit Jamaica, bringing the spirit of Jamaica to the world, as we await the teams to walk out here at the National Stadium. FIFA officials right through, John, and we look at the head official, Akita Nicholson. He's assisted by Stephanie Dale Yising. She's on his left here off screen. Jermaine Yising, a brother and sister partnership here tonight, and Christopher Mason is the fourth official as the teams walk out. Both teams mean business.
Most definitely. And you can just see the determined look on the faces of as they come out from the tunnel. Portmore United just overcame a rather difficult tie against their neighbours, Racing United, of course, sharing that stadium on Ferdinita. They're going to have to get up for it once more, dust off the emotions of last week's tie.
As we pause for the playing of the greatest anthem in the world. All to play for here this evening. Despite being the first leg, a lot will be determined tonight. How will the teams approach the second leg? As we start with the Rudolph Austin-led Portmore United. Daniel Russell, he starts in goal. Ramon Howell, he's the captain. Clayton Peck, Emilia Rousseau, Corey Burke, Romeo Guthrie, Marcus Reed, Tej Bryan, Ronaldo Robinson, Nicoy Gale, and Tyreek Zimenez is the 11 that he's decided to go with. As we look over to the head of the other side of the Mount Pleasant team of Theodore Whitmore, Shaquan Davis, he gets a nod in goal. Kyle Ming, he leads out the team. Johnson Judy, it wears the number 10. Alex Marshall, Kimoni Bailey, Jamari Howell, Raheem Edwards, Clifford Thomas, Demario Phillips, Shaquille Dyer, and Fitzroy Cummins, two Haitians making the starting team for Mount Pleasant tonight.
Most definitely, and they've been really key to the success of the team, and they'll be hoping to make an impact tonight.
Mount Pleasant in their customary blue kit with the white chest, while Portmore, they're in full white with a red trimming. A lot of these Portmore players would have donned the colors of Mount Pleasant sometime in their career. Daniel Russell, Ramon Howell, there is Romario Guthrie, there is Tyreek Zimenez. So 5 players who would have played for Mount Pleasant in their history.
Of course, that does raise the question of whether or not it does aid perhaps their knowledge of their former opponents in terms of the tactical setup. But it remains to be seen, of course. Football is played on the day, so good luck to them.
So the starting 11 pictures have been taken. All the team talks have already been done. It is time to go to war. There is Theodore Whitmore. Alongside him is his director of football, Davian Ferguson. Lamar Morgan, some call him the best, one of the best trainers locally, and goalkeeper coach Andrew Sewell. Not to mention Kirk Ramsey. A good coaching unit put together here at Mount Pleasant. And there is a man who wears a crown on his head, carrying the city of Spanish Town, is Rudolph Austin. Rudolph Austin came up with a masterpiece against Anthony Patrick when they played Racing. Can he do it tonight against Coach Whitmore?
I definitely think they can. It's definitely within the realms of possibility. And when you see the lineup, it's definitely closer to the second leg in approach when you see the personnel. Ramon Howell coming into this team once more, and as well as Marcus Reed. Surprised to not see Peter McGregor, however, in the starting lineup. I thought he played really well across the 2 legs.
You are correct, but you look at the start of Ramon Howell and know that he's going to solidify his midfield area we saw in the first game against Racing, or the previous legs against Racing, where Ramon Howell played a deeper role for Portmore, going up against Clifford Thomas, now of Mount Pleasant. The Mario Phillips looks to be playing inside as well as Jabari Howell. They will need Ramon Howell in that midfield.
Most definitely. And as the game gets underway, experience will be key. Number of these players already from Mount Pleasant have won trophies. They have that veteran experience. They'll see if we can get them over the line in this semi-final tie and get back to the final once more.
And we're off. Portmore will be kicking towards downtown Kingston, while Mount Pleasant Football Academy will be going towards Old Hope Road. Two familiar faces on the pitch at the moment who will know where Old Hope Road is Jabari Howell of Mount Pleasant and Tariq Zimenez of Portmore, as he tries to get a square in to win his Portmore unit corner kick. Tariq Zimenez would have won the Manning Cup at Jamaica College, as well as Jabari Howell. Not sure if Jabari Howell actually won the Manning Cup.
No, I think they...
Based on his age and when JC last won the Manning Cup,
but he did make the All Manning Cup team, however.
Oh, he is a touch of class. You have to give him that. Corner kick for Portmore. Towards the back post, the heads go up. Shaquan Davis gets a fist to it. Portmore threatening very early in the game.
Yeah, definitely have seemed to try to get on the front foot as early as possible, as Peck goes over to take the throw in.
Davis is down, however.
You sounded a bit surprised when Shaquan Davis's name popped up on the screen, and of course there is good reason for that. Hasn't necessarily been the starting choice goalkeeper all season long.
Well, for some clubs, especially those that are international, they look to have two solid goalkeepers. Mount Pleasant has been able to do that. And at some point, I wonder if it's a draw out of a hat to see who starts between the sticks, because previous times, Tafari Chambers has gotten the nod for a long stretch. And out of nowhere, you see Tafari Chambers coming in. You see Shaquan Davis coming in. And they have goalkeepers. I think they have about 4 top quality goalkeepers. Trying to remember the goalkeeper from Waterhouse, who ventured, the Waterhouse captain, Kemar Foster, who ventured to Mount Pleasant.
A
veteran indeed. So they have 3 solid goalkeepers, 3 different age brackets, and they also have the academy where goalkeepers are brewing as well.
Of course, among them Marco Dean Spence. But you touch on the defense and how it could perhaps impact the team. Well, it hasn't really impacted them that much. They've conceded the least goals in the league phase of the season, so they could argue, for those wondering about the approach, that it's working.
But you could also say in the last 5 games, Mount Pleasant and Portmore has conceded the same amount of goals. Both of them have conceded 6. However, having a Raheem Edwards has ensured that they've scored 16 comparing to Portmore's 10. So today in this clash we expect goals, and it's going to come down to who can make the least mistakes as Davis is up and the throw is in. Mount Pleasant clear their lines, and so far into the 4th minute, Mount Pleasant yet to venture into the Portmore half. Corey Burke, a searching ball by him. Did find Zimenez, however, couldn't keep it under control, and Mount Pleasant for the first time is in the Portmore half through Judy Johnson in to touch a throw.
Just a bit of arguing over the throw in there, but can't really having too many complaints. Most definitely the way of Portmore. And the man on the ball, Tariq Zimenez, or about to take the throw rather, he's been phenomenal all season long.
A fantastic goal by him in the quarterfinals. Here he is again. Just a little bit too much on that one. Ball goes into touch. It's a throw-in.
Very rare use. Well, of course, it's in modern day football. Fullbacks are tasked with getting forward, but very rarely are they equally as adept going forward as they are defending, but he falls into that rare breed. He's been phenomenal on both sides of the ball, I have to say.
I have seen Tyreek Jimenez for JC play wing back one season and centre forward the other. I've seen him go to Belgium and play centre forward as well, and then come back to Jamaica where he's put at that wing back position. So he's one of the few, as you mentioned, who is that versatile to do that and do it well.
Had Tajay Grant on lockdown, really, and he's one of the better players in his position.
Marcus Reed. Here is Jimenez. The ball across the field. Portmore seeming to have more control in this game than they did in their quarterfinals. Having most of the possession is Portmore United as they look to advance on the far left-hand side. Plays the ball inside and wins themselves another corner kick.
Portmore United getting off to, I won't say a flying start, but most definitely a really positive look thus far. And they get yet another set piece, trying to get an early goal here, just 6 minutes in.
Kick to be taken by Marcus Reed on the far hand side. 5 Portmore shirts in the box to aim for. Ball is swung in towards the near post. Clifford Thomas gets his head to it. For Mount Pleasant, clears his lines. Throw in. Both teams still a little bit cautious here. Seems to be a long throw. Jimenez puts it into the box, heads go up. Still with possession is Portmore through Corey Burke, who finds Jimenez, who plays the ball inside. Kyle Ming heads the ball into touch. It's a corner kick again for Portmore United.
We touched on at the end of the second leg for Portmore against Racing United, making chances count, because with this Mount Pleasant team and how clinical they are in the final third, you never know. And I think they're going to have to make this opening spell of prolonged possession, they're going to have to make it count here as they get the corner kick coming up.
4 in the box this time. Swung in, the heads go up. Headed away again by Kyle Ming, and the referee says no, it's a goal kick. That's surprising.
Most definitely seem to have taken the touch of a Mount Pleasant head there, but
Mount Pleasant with possession. Through Bailey, who finds Howell. He goes to ground. No whistle on the play, into touch. A throw from Mount Pleasant.
Their first real spell of possession.
Here's Shaquille Dyer. To his captain, Kyle Ming. All the way back to Shaquan Davis. As Mount Pleasant slowly playing themselves into the game here in minute number 9. Yet to see the Portmore penalty area, however. Going to ground is Jabari Howell. Whistle on the play. Free kick.
We've spoken about young talents already in the form of Jimenez, but what about that young man on the ball now? Unbelievable young player. Already has 5 goals on the season, but Mount Pleasant surrender position here.
Here is the captain, who passes the ball to Corey Burke. Unable to hold it up, it falls to Raheem Edwards, who takes a shot wide off the Portmore goal. Portmore a bit scrappy a while ago. Almost living to regret that. Not sure Raheem Edwards should have taken the shot, however.
But given the form, the confidence that he has at the moment, probably thought, why not? Wouldn't bet against him.
Much better spectator turnout this evening compared to the quarterfinals, as the bleachers is now open here at the National Stadium. St. Anne versus St. Catherine. That's the great joy of the Premier League. 4 teams in the semi-finals, 4 teams from different parishes.
And of course, the CEO just recently mentioned how great it was to see the fight that even a team from St. Elizabeth like Treasure Beach put up. But it's definitely good to see teams from other parishes really showing that the rural area is equally adept at.
Here now is Johnson Judy. Judy takes a shot, plays it outside to Bailey. Puts the ball across the goal with the left boot. No blue shirts present. Into touch. It's a goal kick, and just like that, out of nothing at all, Mount Pleasant Football Academy showing some prowess.
Yeah, the defending just a bit too narrow there. Zimini's got caught napping, and a chance there in the end by Kimoni Bailey, just unable to take it goalward or direct that cross to a teammate rather.
Mount Pleasant supporters in the bleachers, they'd love to see their Caribbean Cup champions get another hold on the local Premier League title, only winning it once so far. But one of the most feared teams to play here in the Caribbean region. Here is Portmore with possession. Lovely tackle there by Kyle Ming. Tries to come away with it, goes to ground, whistle on the play. Alex Marshall. Edwards comes deeper for it. Here is Bailey. He has a chance to square.
Good defending in the end by Portmore there. And they can break now with Marcus Reed. Guthrie doing well to get past his man.
Marcus Reed, a very young player on this Portmore team. I heard you earlier mention Tyreek Ziminis as a young player. I think he's past that stage for now. Tyreek Ziminis is about what, 22, 23?
No, 21 still.
21?
About to turn 22, I believe.
Oh, he's been around the block for quite some time, though. You have to give him that.
Of course, perhaps not necessarily in terms of experience, but age surely does count for something.
Most definitely very experienced is Tyreek Ziminis. Here now is Portmore, however, trying to get into the 18-yard area. Was Clayton Peck. But ball goes into touch. It's a goal kick taken quickly.
And not many can outduel Fitzroy Cummins in a 1v1. Built like a brick. And very smart defender as well. It's going to take a lot to break down this wall of a defense.
They have been broken down before, and I'm sure Portmore believe that they can do it as well. Bernard Robinson plays the ball back into his penalty area. Lovely 1-2 passes there by Portmore United. They go on the hunt. Here is Bernard Robinson again. Tyreek Ziminis, he has space. Has one to beat too. Looks for the pass and finds Robinson. Into touch, it's a throw-in for Portmore United, and a very animated Theodore Whitmore there on the sidelines from Mount Pleasant.
And both coaches actually on their feet, barking instructions early in the game, just trying to help their team settle into the encounter. As of yet, I think Mount Pleasant are yet to show their best football, however.
Here is Robinson! Just wide of the Mount Pleasant goal. Where now Robinson found himself free atop the 18-yard area. A long throw by Tyreek Zimenez. And John, we spoke about this in the quarterfinals. Portmore has to score these chances.
They definitely do. They've been generating some really quality ones. But from that angle, from that area of the box, you have to do better there. But nevertheless, positive signs.
All the way back to Daniel Russell. Possession given away by Portmore in the center circle. It's a Haitian connection between Thomas and Judy. Despite not the fastest pace, you can see the intent from both teams.
Most definitely. Marshall tried to keep that one in play, but in the end it will be a throw to Portmore there. And you have to just wonder at the moment if this is perhaps tactical on the part of Theodore Whitmore, just to be a bit more methodical, pace themselves, not tire themselves out, especially given that Portmore will be the team that is perhaps more tread on the tires at this moment in time, having already played 2 legs. But now they're coming forward here, Mount Pleasant.
Jabari Howell gets by his defender, looks to play the ball inside with the left boot. Cleared away by Emilio Rousseau. The two things that these two teams have in common, they can turn the game to life by the snap of the fingers.
And as you see that fall there, most definitely a fantastic effort down that left-hand side by Jabari Howell. Turned his defender inside out. Cross, however, just not able to be met by an incoming forward. Of course, Ryan Edwards is the man that you'd perhaps want on the end of that.
Silly tackle there by Johnson Judy. Referee Nicholson coming over to him very quickly to have a few words. On top of things is the referee this evening. Ball played over. Looking for Brian. Able to keep it in. Tries to get the better of Kyle Ming. Instead, it's a goal kick.
Kyle Ming already won a couple of JPL trophies with their rivals Cavalier, no less. He'll be looking to add yet another to his collection this year. Really instrumental part of their team.
Shaquille Dyer. Lovely clear night skies are here at the National Stadium as a lovely ball is played into Jabari Howell. Tries to outrun his defender, plays the ball across. Russell gets a touch to it. Mount Pleasant have their first corner kick this evening.
Lovely, well-worked attack there. Great turn to evade his defender. And what a pass to Jabari Howell, who's been really, really positive thus far tonight. Really direct. And his cross is batted away by Russell there in goal. In the end, it will be another corner. Well, the first corner, as you mentioned before, rather, for Mount Pleasant.
Taken short. Swung inside. Headed away by Tyreek Zimenez, a throw from Mount Pleasant Football Academy.
And after a rather slow opening, about 13-14 minutes, over the last couple of minutes, Mount Pleasant have started to come into their own now. Especially Jabari Howell, he's looked really bright thus far.
Kimani Campbell. Kimani Bailey, actually, Campbell plays for Waterhouse. Kimani Bailey, the man they call Rasta, no longer sporting that hairstyle. He's been at Mount Pleasant for the past 4 years. A real staple within the Stush team. Ball booted up to Guthrie. To Zimenez, trying to play in a one-time pass. There's too much on it for Robinson. Goal kick.
Portmore United not looking quite as fluid as they've been, but see Russell is down in goal there.
As Coach Whitmore calls across the entire Mount Pleasant team.
And perhaps rightfully so. They've not necessarily been at their best thus far in the game. Perhaps something he's identified that could help them tactically.
So John, after 21 minutes, 0-0 is the score. Who you think is on top after those 21 minutes?
Well, as we mentioned before, for the opening 10 or 14 or so, Portmore looked more comfortable in position, trying to use those wider areas to trouble the fullbacks of Mount Pleasant, trying to get some crosses in, got some set pieces out of it. They were unable, however, to take the chances that came their way. And since then, it's been all Mount Pleasant. Jabari Howell getting a license to just roam really wherever he wants. And he's been taking on his man and beating them with ease. And you can see there the fans in the stands of Montego Bay United, who are living it up at the moment. Of course, if you're unaware, they did win their game just a few short moments ago against Cavalier.
Own goal by Adrian Reed Jr. What a hard way to lose.
To be fair though, looking at just how the game played out in its entirety, Montego Bay United probably deserved the win.
Saw Shav having a very sad face after those 90 minutes. Big Cavalier supporter is he. See him drinking a Red Bull there. Not you needing the wings, Shav. I think Cavalier needs those wings come Wednesday. Mobe. But here is Portmore with Renard Robinson. Goes to ground, asking the referee for a foul.
To be honest, it looks like he just slipped there, really.
I think he knew that as well. And while it was shaving the sorrows earlier, MG himself now a bit worried to see what will happen in this one. He wears his Portmore colours proudly. Not sure why though, they're yet to win a title in quite some time. Will this year be the difference? A tug on the shirt there, but here is Kyle Ming, plays the ball inside, looking for Raheem Edwards. Russell claims that one.
And Portmore United yet again under some pressure, and it's coming down that right hand side. They do look rather vulnerable, almost giving the ball away again. We're gonna have to retain possession a bit better. Lovely bit of skill.
Tariq Zimenez on possession. Guthrie, he comes outside to the flank for it, plays the ball inside. Gathered by Shaquan Davis, and you hear the name Owen Hill so regularly. You have to big up Stephen Douglas as well. The man himself who works so tirelessly behind the scenes here at the JPL. A lovely spectacle they've been able to put on year in, year out as we bring the curtains down on this season. Mobe United winning 1-0 earlier against Cavalier. And after 25 minutes here between Portmore United and Mount Pleasant, still scoreless. but both teams have been having look-ins.
Most definitely. I think that's a good thing. Rather different game, which I expected. Rather different game to the one we just witnessed in the other semi-final between Monterey and Cavalier. Both teams really going for it, as opposed to it being rather lopsided in terms of chances created in possession. As you just saw the flick over the head there, lovely bit of skill. Sure to expect more moments like that tonight.
A sea of blue in the bleachers, and ironically both Mount Pleasant and Portmore do wear blue. Portmore preferring the white more than their blue kit. But here is Mount Pleasant to Demaria Phillips. Inside to Howell, who plays it back to Judy! Johnson Judy on top of the 18-yard area. Passes the ball wide. And I think that should have been 1-0. A little bit more composure by him.
Lovely, well-worked passage of play there, leaving it at the edge of the box. Well, almost at the edge of the box for Johnson Judy. And just couldn't put it between the posts. Wanted it in that far corner, unable to on that occasion, however.
Portmore now, after controlling the first 10 minutes of the encounter, have been behind the 8 ball since then. And here goes a whistle on the play. Free kick. Here is Russo to Howell. Peck is on the outside. He has control and gives it away. Alex Marshall. Lovely pass by him inside to Howell. Judy. Lovely movement of the ball by Mount Pleasant. Here's Kimoni Bailey inside to Thomas. Portmore scrambling a bit, but here is Thomas on top of the 18-yard area, plays the ball inside. Edwards went to ground, unable to control it. Brian slowly gets back to his feet. Demaria Phillips coming to life in the midfield area for this Mount Pleasant team now. Here is Judy. Mount Pleasant happy to keep possession of the football.
And they're perhaps the best team in the league at doing it. So technically gifted and so intelligent. Their off-the-ball movement is what really impresses me.
So after 28 minutes, still 0-0 here. From that angle, not as close as we thought it was from our vantage point. Really should have done better with that. Here is Alex Marshall. He can score a goal or two. Not like that though. A bit rushed.
Nothing ventured, nothing gained, but can't gain a goal with a shot like that.
Lovely shot there of the grandstand.
You mentioned the increase in support as opposed to the last round. Staggering amount, really, in comparison.
Not as cagey as the first game. However, both teams still being very cautious in their approach to this evening.
But we did see the second leg of the Portmore racing game, things start to open up, and Racing United committed a number of bodies forward. Not sure if we'll see that exactly today, given it's not exactly a desperate situation for either team, just the first leg. But I expect it to be just a bit less cagey in terms of the opening stages. Mount Pleasant as a player down, however.
Zimenez plays the ball over, looking for Brian. Hit the surface and too much on it for Brian, as there is still a player down. Looking around, seems to be Johnson Judy. Not just do they have a 11, John, but I see Theodore Whitmore sending some players to just get themselves loosened up, and you can see Daniel Green and Shaquille Bradford, two people who you might think, if you are Jamaican, are very lethal goal scorers here in the country.
Definitely have quite the attacking firepower on the bench. Both of them have, well, Green has about 6 goals, Bradford has about 5, so they do have quite the attacking talent, but also last year's Golden Boot winner, Warner Brown, as well. Of course, not able to make the same level of impact this year as quite the competition.
Some might say a shadow of himself. The pressure is a little bit different at Mount Pleasant. But they do have themselves a winning formula. They've been in and around the final 4 positions for the past, 2-3 years.
Made the finals all 3 years.
There you go. Winning 1 and losing twice to Cavalier. Can't think of a team that Mount Pleasant would love to see be sent packing. And Cavalier, that team that has suffered them so much distress and heartbreak over their Premier League life locally.
And especially to do it on pens as well. It's always going to be that much heartbreaking. Coming that close.
Possession given away easily again by Portmore. They have to find a way to protect the ball better, Portmore United. Here's Guthrie. Now with Russell. Marcus Reed, he's on the run. Still Reed plays the ball inside to Corey Burke. Too much on it, however. Here is Clifford Thomas. And Kimoni Bailey clears his lines for Portmore. Awkward back pass there to Daniel Russell. And Portmore able to come out quite easily. Here is Jimenez with possession. Howell. Guthrie. Marcus Reed. Inside to Brian. Intercepted by Clifford Thomas. Mount Pleasant now go on the move. Here is Alex Marshall. He's clipped by Tariq Jimenez just at the halfway line. Whistle on the play. Free kick. The great Craig Butler himself is in attendance. You have to give that man his credit for all that he's done in putting Jamaica on the map. The likes of Leon Bailey, DeJohn Whisper Richards. Some might question the methods, but you can't question the results internationally. Here is Demaria Phillips, Mount Pleasant, takes a shot, saved by Russell, comes back to him. Portmore clear their lines. Can they counter quickly? Guthrie trying to play in Corey Burke. Falls to Marcus Reed. Gets by Thomas, is Marcus Reed. If you follow football, John, Marcus Reed, what's his pet name?
Not sure.
Ball played now to Renard Robinson. I'm trying to remember if he's the person that they call Little Bibi. Ball played inside for Mount Pleasant to find Jabari Howell. He can strike them from there. A deflection on it, however, and Russell able to hold it firmly in his grasp. He stays on the surface. So the medicals team is called once again.
You mentioned being able to strike them. We've already seen in some broadcasted games already that he definitely has the ability to hit them, especially from range. Scored 2 beautiful goals, we mentioned before, against Portmore United early year, towards the back end of the season. I have to say, special young talent. Of course, that goal against Puerto Rico for the national under 20s, most definitely going to be perhaps one of the best moments that he looks back on in his career. And given the trajectory, it's just going to be perhaps one of many. As mentioned before, already 5 goals in just 14 games at this level, along with quite a lot of young talent. He's taken like a duck to water in the professional realm of football. Russell's back to his feet.
Minute 37, still 0-0. The longer the score stays scoreless, John, who do you think would be more happy?
Perhaps Portmore United, because judging by how they set up, this is perhaps what they wanted.
I tend to agree with you there. I think Portmore would prefer to go into the halftime 0-0, be able to stretch this Mount Pleasant team a bit in the second half. But I think a draw at full time might just favor Mount Pleasant going into the second leg of this one. Lovely bit of skill there by Clifford Thomas. Looking to play the ball through to Raheem Edwards. Intercepted by Portmore. Here is Jimenez to Corey Burke. Still Burke. Pushed in the back there by Dyer. Whistle on the play, free kick.
And he has got a rather isolated figure up top so far in this game, Burke. You wonder if after the break we're going to perhaps see the addition of his strike partner, Peter McGregor, who, as I mentioned before, did score against Racing.
Here is Jimenez. To Howell, inside to Burke. Heavy of a control there from him. Goal kick.
Yeah, not having the greatest of games, but as we've mentioned quite a number of times, that sea of blue in front of Shaquan Davis boasts the best defensive record in the league. So it's going to be no easy task breaching that wall.
Here is Judy to Marshall. Able to stop the ball was Howell, but here goes the two Howells battling each other there, Jabari Howell and Ramon Howell. Ramon Howell comes out on top. Experience over age there. As Robinson goes to ground, a whistle on the play, a free kick for Portmore United. Peck plays the ball inside, looking for Corey Burke, gets ahead to it. Shaquan Davis was scrambling across the goal line. He will tell you that he had that one covered, but you could see the concern in his run.
Most definitely, and I have to admit, these are the type of situations that Corey Burke is perhaps going to have to feast on. Those early crosses into the box, they have to hit him earlier, because if you allow this back four to set up, as you see there on the attack, now we'll get back to that. And And I guess I will, because that attack broke down. But if you allow that defense to set up quickly, it's going to be a hard task. But Burke definitely going to need some better quality provision for him.
Movement and rotation working for Portmore United. You can see Tariq Zimini's inside now as Robinson came to the flank. Given away by Portmore. Here is Demario Phillips. He goes on the run. He has a pass outside. He does find Jabari Howell. No, sorry about that. Portmore comes across, wins the ball quite easily. Here is Zimini's now. I think Mount Pleasant are actually playing the exact way that Portmore wants them to play. And looking at Coach Whitmore, you can see that there are some things that he's not pleased with. 5 minutes to go until the break. We're in that point in time where goals are normally scored based on statistics. Let's see what will happen in these remaining 5 minutes of the half. Here is Portmore United. Ball played over the top. Looking for Corey Burke. Given away by Mount Pleasant. Back to Portmore United. Zimini's in the midfield area. Exactly in the center circle. Here's Guthrie. Lovely pass by Guthrie to find Brian. Shot taken by Portmore United. An interception there by Kyle Ming, and it's a corner kick for Portmore.
That's just what Portmore United are going to have to look to do. Hit them early. Lovely pass into Brian there. And as you can see, he's still down. But that was a lovely effort. Great pass, and he took it around Ming, but in the end, good recovery.
Lovely pass by Romeo Guthrie. Lovely dink over the defense line of Mount Pleasant Football Academy. I think that might have been the best thing about this football match so far. Stephanie Daly Singh, the FIFA assistant referee. Love to see that shot again. As Brian makes his way around to the half line after receiving treatment. Corner kick for Portmore United. With Brian off, only 3 white shirts in the box to aim for. Marcus Reed swings it in, headed away by Clifford Thomas. Possession back to Portmore United. Brian makes his return to the pitch. Marcus Reed on the far side. He has possession. Looking for an off-the-ball run is he to find Corey Burke. A one-time pass over to Peck. The flag is up though. Offside is the call, and Portmore United for the first time this evening actually unlocking the gates of Mount Pleasant.
Lovely, well-worked passage of play, but yeah, you can see there on the replay just about offside. Closest thing we have to VAR in Jamaica.
I thought Shah was going to give us the blue lines and the red lines a while ago.
Given how good he is, I think he's working on it.
I saw that coming. But here is Corey Burke, tries to get by Dyer. A slip up there by Dyer, ball goes into touch for a throw. Minute number 44. Also seen on the bench there is Devontae Campbell. Mount Pleasant football prodigy. From the academy to Belgium and back to Jamaica. Throw taken to Robinson. Long throw into the box. Oh, hard tackle there on Alex Marshall by Peck. And the yellow card comes out for the first time this evening in minute number 45. Not sure if Peck was late or thrown out by Davis. I think Peck just missed the ball completely. We can see that again.
Seems we won't get another replay, but most definitely was perhaps a nanosecond late there and pretty harsh fall.
4 minutes indicated by the fourth official. And I really think either team will be happy now to go in with the score as it is.
Most definitely, but they're still on the attack here, Mount Pleasant, with Demario Phillips.
To Marshall. Looking to squeeze the ball through a crack in the Portmore back line and set out for a throw. Fitzroy Cummins to Dyer. Bailey goes on a dribble back to Dyer. Portmore just staying behind the ball, allowing Mount Pleasant to take control as the half comes to an end. But here is Fitzroy Cummins. Ball advanced down the right-hand side of the Portmore defensive unit. The flag is up. It's a throw for Mount Pleasant.
And my advice to Mount Pleasant would be the same as, well, cross comes in here.
Here is Portmore as they try to break quickly. A hard tackle there by Raheem Edwards
and
on Nicoy Gale.
A few short moments ago, right before they took that throw in, I was going to say that my advice to you would be the same as my advice to Mount Pleasant as when they were in that area, regarding your comments earlier. If you don't take a shot, you won't score, my boss.
That's true. You have to buy the lotto to win. You have to. First half winding down as both teams would have realized where the game is right now. Not giving anything up. It's just a minute left to play. But here is Mount Pleasant through Raheem Edwards to Jabari Howell. Alex Marshall, he goes looking for something magical to happen. To Bailey. One-time pass by Thomas. Into touch, goal kick. And that might be all she wrote for this, the first half.
Just a few seconds left, and you can see just the concerned look of Coach Tapper Whitmore.
Should be the last kick of the half as referee Nicholson looks to his watch. The kick won't even come. There's the whistle. Half time, 0-0 here at the National Stadium. Both two teams just feeling out each other for majority of that 45. Sir John, your thoughts on the first half?
A bit tense, a bit cagey at times. But the good thing is that it was back and forth in terms of the ebb and flow of the game. Portmore United seemed to be on top in the opening stages, but gradually Mount Pleasant have got into it. Still a real shortage of the quality of chances we want to see, but nevertheless both teams are defended well, and that's kind of what you expect.
As we head to the highlights of the first half.
There you can see the first chance of the game for Portmore United, and for anyone really, no one able to meet that corner. And to be honest, for a good while I thought that Kyle Mingat had got a touch to it, but the referee disagreed. Now Mount Pleasant on the attack. Raheem Edwards having the first shot of the game from quite some distance, but unable to get it on target. Johnson Judy picking up the ball in a dangerous area. Lovely pass to Kimoni Bailey, whose cross just had a bit too much pace on it. Perhaps could have even gone for goal from there. Portmore United almost capitalizing on a mistake from Clifford Thomas, but he did well to recover there. Afterwards, a long throw-in comes back to Ronaldo Anthony Robinson, who was just unable to guide his shot goal with perhaps their best chance of the game, Portmore. But now here's Jabari Howell. Lovely ability to take his man on, but just couldn't get his cross to a teammate. Great pass from Thomas once more into the path of Howell. And he gets a cross in and forces a save out of Daniel Russell there. Ming, wonderful cross, put it into that corridor of danger, as they call it. However, once more, no Mount Pleasant bodies to make a touch. They did this time with Judy Johnson, but unfortunately, his first time effort wasn't able to be curled into that bottom right corner as much as he wanted it to. Edwards picks it up there and lays it off for Marshall, the Manning Cup star, but his shot is saved by Russell, called into action there. And Howell had another attempt, but the affliction took the pace out of that one. Corey Burke having his first real sight at goal of the night, unable to get it goalward. Tej Bryan played in by a lovely pass from Guthrie, unable to get his goalward either. Will worked attack here on that occasion, and even if Clayton Peck's shot had scored, still would have been offside. And look at that tackle from Peck on Marshall, and he earned himself a place in the book following that challenge.
Thank you for the highlights, John. As we look at the stats of the first half, Portmore lead in possession 56-44. Mount Pleasant, however, leads on shots 7-2, 3 of those shots being on target. Portmore United, they lead on corners 4-1. No offside calls in this, the first half, while 2 yellow cards issued to Mount Pleasant and 1 to Portmore United. No red cards just yet. So that's the stats for the first half. You saw the highlights. There's a 15-minute interval until we go back to the action. So run, grab a Ray and Neville. Do what you have to do, but come back here for the action, because the second half is going to be massive as Mount Pleasant Football Academy looks to get one over on Portmore United. Or can Portmore United see out this here? So tonight's Jamaica Premier League playoff presentation is proudly brought to you by our valued partners who continue to power the growth of Jamaican football. Special thanks to Ray and Nephew, the official title partner of the Jamaica Premier League. Visit Jamaica, bringing the spirit of Jamaica to the world. We also acknowledge our league partners, CB Foods, Admiral, the Sports Development Foundation, the SDF. Club partners supporting our playoff teams include Chemtech, proud partners of Portmore United, and the GIS Institute of Sports, proud partner of Mount Pleasant Football Academy. We thank all sponsors and partners for their contributed investment in the development of local football and the future of the Jamaican Premier League.
Chill the chicken. chicken. Taste way better. You better taste better chicken. No antibiotic and hormone free. Have you tasted the new air chilled chicken? On my chicken nut. CB chicken. It tastes way better.
I save from VM Building Society. Every deposit got me here. Every step forward put me in the driver's seat.
For everything you're looking forward to, open an iSave account today. Visit gotomyvm.com to get started.
Every $25,000 you save with iSave earns an entry to win cash or a new home of your own. The more you save, the more entries you get, and every entry has a chance to win a brand new home of your own. VM iSave is the key to winning.
Here's to the early risers, and we are here all-nighters, the go the extra milers, and let's do it until it works, workers. People who are powerful, because they power through, day after day, challenge after challenge. You see, true power is not something you can buy or collect. It's something that starts on the inside, and you always know it when you see it. Sunshine Snacks Peanuts, proud supporters of the powerful.
Ray and Never, feel we culture, yo!
New beginning, we winning, so share our spirit where you living, yeah.
Share it!
I make we all a one bar, you don't know we come from far.
From far, anytime we rep, feel we country. Rear rum, it have to come with we.
No matter with the bad vibes.
Poor rear rum, a celebration time.
I feel we culture. Make we show ya Jamaican culture.
Ray and Never, overproof from we just a do it for we culture.
A CB chicken, a better way. Introducing air chilled chicken. It have more flavor, you don't know what you're missing. It tastes better, full of flavor in the kitchen. Better value, better taste, better chicken. CB chicken, tastes way better. Air chilled chicken, taste way better. Better value, better taste, better chicken. No antibiotic and hormone free. Have you tasted the new air chilled chicken? On my chicken nut, CB chicken. It tastes way better.
I save from VM Building Society. Every deposit got me here. Every step forward put me in the driver's seat.
For everything you're looking forward to, open an iSave account today. Visit gotomyvm.com to get started.
Every $25,000 you save with iSave earns an entry to win cash or a new home of your own. The more you save, the more entries you get, and every entry has a chance to win a brand new home of your own. VM iSave is the key to winning.
Here's to the early risers, and we are here all-nighters, the go the extra milers, and let's do it until it works, workers. People who are powerful, because they power through, day after day, challenge after challenge. You see, true power is not something you can buy or collect. It's something that starts on the inside, and you always know it when you see it. Sunshine Snacks Peanuts, proud supporters of the powerful.
Ray and Never, feel we culture, yo!
New beginning, we winning, so share our spirit where you living, yeah.
Share it!
I make we all a one bar, you don't know we come from far.
From far, anytime we rep, feel we country. Rear rum, it have to come with we.
No matter with the bad vibes.
Poor rear rum, a celebration time.
I feel we culture. Make we show ya Jamaican culture.
Ray and Never, overproof from we just a do it for we culture.
A CB chicken, a better way. Introducing air chilled chicken. It have more flavor, you don't know what you're missing. It tastes better, full of flavor in the kitchen. Better value, better taste, better chicken. CB chicken, tastes way better. Air chilled chicken, taste way better. Better value, better taste, better chicken. No antibiotic and hormone free. Have you tasted the new air chilled chicken? On my chicken nut, CB chicken. It tastes way better.
I save from VM Building Society. Every deposit got me here. Every step forward put me in the driver's seat.
For everything you're looking forward to, open an iSave account today. Visit gotomyvm.com to get started.
Every $25,000 you save with iSave earns an entry to win cash or a new home of your own. The more you save, the more entries you get, and every entry has a chance to win a brand new home of your own. VM iSave is the key to winning.
Here's to the early risers, and we are here all-nighters, the go the extra milers, and let's do it until it works. Workers. People who are powerful because they powered through day after day, challenge after challenge. You see, true power is not something you can buy or collect. It's something that starts on the inside, and you always know it when you see it. Sunshine Snacks Peanuts, proud supporters of the powerful.
Ray and Neville, feel we culture, yo!
New beginning, we winning, so share our spirit where you living, yeah.
Share it!
I make we all a one bar, you don't know we come from far.
From far, anytime we rep, feel we country. Rear rum, it have to come with we.
No matter with the bad vibes.
Poor rear rum, a celebration time.
I feel we culture. Make we show ya Jamaican culture.
Ray and Neville, overproof from we just a do it to we culture.
A CB chicken, a better way. Introducing air chill chicken. It have more flavor, you don't know what you're missing. It tastes better, full of flavor in the kitchen. Better value, better taste, better chicken. CB chicken, tastes way better. Air chilled chicken, taste way better. Better value, better taste, better chicken. No antibiotic and hormone free. Have you tasted the new air chilled chicken? Or my chicken nut? CB chicken, it tastes way better.
I save from VM Building Society. Every deposit got me here. Every step forward put me in the driver's seat.
For everything you're looking forward to, open an iSave account today. Visit gotomyvm.com to get started.
Every $25,000 you save with iSave earns an entry to win cash or a new home of your own. The more you save, the more entries you get, and every entry has a chance to win a brand new home of your own. VM iSave is the key to winning.
Here's to the early risers, and we are here all-nighters, the go the extra milers, and let's do it until it works. Workers. People who are powerful because they powered through day after day, challenge after challenge. You see, true power is not something you can buy or collect. It's something that starts on the inside, and you always know it when you see it. Sunshine Snacks Peanuts, proud supporters of the powerful.
Ray and Neville, feel we culture, yo!
New beginning, we winning, so share our spirit where you living, yeah.
Share it!
I make we all a one bar, you don't know we come from far.
From far, anytime we rep, feel we country. Rear rum, it have to come with we.
No matter with the bad vibes.
Poor rear rum, a celebration time.
I feel we culture. Make we show ya Jamaican culture.
Ray and Neville, overproof from we just a do it to we culture.
A CB chicken, a better way. Introducing air chill chicken. It have more flavor, you don't know what you're missing. It tastes better, full of flavor in the kitchen. Better value, better taste, better chicken. CB chicken, tastes way better. Air chilled chicken, taste way better. Better value, better taste, better chicken. No antibiotic and hormone free. Have you tasted the new air chilled chicken? Or my chicken nut? CB chicken, it tastes way better.
I save from VM Building Society. Every deposit got me here. Every step forward put me in the driver's seat.
For everything you're looking forward to, open an iSave account today. Visit gotomyvm.com to get started.
Every $25,000 you save with iSave earns an entry to win cash or a new home of your own. The more you save, the more entries you get, and every entry has a chance to win a brand new home of your own. VM iSave is the key to winning.
Here's to the early risers, and we are here all-nighters, the go the extra milers, and let's do it until it works. Workers. People who are powerful because they powered through day after day, challenge after challenge. You see, true power is not something you can buy or collect. It's something that starts on the inside, and you always know it when you see it. Sunshine Snacks Peanuts, proud supporters of the powerful.
Ray and Neville, feel we culture, yo!
New beginning, we winning, so share our spirit where you living, yeah.
Share it!
I make we all a one bar, you don't know we come from far.
From far, anytime we rep, feel we country. Rear rum, it have to come with we.
No matter with the bad vibes.
Poor rear rum, a celebration time.
I feel we culture. Make we show ya Jamaican culture.
We are nephew overproof from we just a do it to the culture.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Awaiting the second half is commencing here at the National Stadium for the second semi-final of the day. Portmore United taking on Mount Pleasant. Score still currently locked at 0-0. And for those unaware, we have already played the first semi-final where Montego Bay United, courtesy of a last gasp winner, defeated Cavalier in their first leg 1-0. Mount Pleasant seem to have made a couple of changes here, and among them, I believe the aforementioned Devontae Campbell. But for now, Demario Phillips is the man tasked with restarting the game for us here. And Mount Pleasant get us underway once more. Clifford Thomas on the ball, playing it downfield, and Portmore United clear, but only as far as Jabari Howell. Trying to get past his man is Campbell. He does. Cross comes in, but it's taken away. Oh, a controversial decision. Well, for some protest by the fans, but the referee waves play on, no foul. Reed, lovely pass out wide into Corey Burke. What can he do here? Lovely cut back to take it away. Cross coming in, and that's headed away. Headed on. Oh, lovely bit of footwork there to evade Tej Bryan, who gives away a foul. And Mount Pleasant now can just breathe a sigh of relief. Here was that lovely dribble there from Devontae Campbell to get away from his defender. Cross came in, and then it's definitely worth a shout, that decision there, that challenge. But nevertheless, Portmore United can, I think, call themselves lucky on that decision there. Could so easily have been a penalty. That pass is intercepted by Clayton Peake, and we have once more our commentator, Neil.
Sir John, a change made by Mount Pleasant at the start of the second half, bringing on Devontae Campbell. Now, it is said that I learned a short while ago that Campbell is expected to bring more life down the right-hand side or the left-hand side, whatever they choose to deploy him on, for this Mount Pleasant team.
Yeah, most definitely. Johnson Judy, I wouldn't say he was atrocious or bad, but they perhaps wanted just another alternative as that ball goes out for a third. I think they are justified in making that decision. He's already made a rather lively start to the second half, took his man down the line and got a crossing, which almost led to a potential penalty. He's looked good since coming on, Campbell.
At the same time, this Mount Pleasant team is a hard team to study. The way that they make their player rotations in the off spaces, having the inverted wingers coming in. So Devontae Campbell would be a good release point for them. As you see Alex Marshall on the outside as well, sometimes he ends up inside. And I think what I heard from the changing room, Demario Phillips will be looking to bring this game to life now.
Of course, he took responsibility and actually kick-started us in the second half, and I have to say, he's one of those players who the players really look up to as a leader. Very well spoken as well. Had the pleasure of interviewing him a couple of times, and yeah, he's a fantastic player, very versatile as well. We've seen him in the back line already as well.
Yeah, he plays that wing-back position sometimes for Mount Pleasant, and in the blink of an eye, he's running down the flank, getting those squares in, and at the same time, he shuffles inside the middle of the park quickly, and then in no time, he's defending. He's one of those players that any manager would love to have.
Most definitely, so versatile, and I think that's a feature of many of the Mount Pleasant players. I think it's definitely something they look for when they scout players, because it takes a lot of intelligence tactically in game to be able to maneuver around in a number of positions, and that's what they look for, and that's why they have so regularly come out on top in the league phase of the season.
Not much to be heard from the Portmore dressing room. From all understanding, 0-0 was a score that they'll be happy with at the halftime break. They are somehow confident that that break into the Mount Pleasant defensive line will come for them to snatch that goal. They have themselves a free kick now that can stir up some feathers.
Guthrie will leave it for Captain Howell to take. Most likely going to take it short.
Guess you're in the changing room as well, John, because a short free kick taken comes to Ronaldo Robinson. Ronaldo Robinson, here he is, tries to stay on his feet. Portmore still have it through Corey Burke. He goes to ground. Here is Marcus Reed trying to dribble through a sea of blue. Whistle on the play. And this is a much more dangerous area than the first free kick just seconds ago.
And it doesn't take a genius to see that perhaps the route now is definitely going to be to take the shot from this distance. Corey Burke there is fouled. Dyer was absolutely livid with the decision.
He always is. Remember some 2 seasons ago picking up a red card in the either the quarterfinal or the semifinal at Sabina Park. Not pleased with the referee decision at all. There are points in time where many calls go against you in the game of football.
You would happen to know about that,
sometimes hard to keep a cool head. Can Emilia Rousseau or Tariq Zimenez keep cool heads and get this one in the back of the net? Who will take it? Might be the number 6 Rousseau, but here goes Zimenez. He runs up, strikes the ball, and almost in NFL field goal style, up and over, and it's good. Unfortunately, no points for that one. Not sure what his intentions were a short while ago.
Well, most definitely put it into the back of the net. Just couldn't keep it down. Went for power there.
He will need about 5 more goals to put that one in the back of the net.
Ooh, Phillips seems to have stepped on his own hand, perhaps. And he's in quite some pain. Rolling around, actually.
He rolls back onto the pitch. So when you see stuff like that, you wonder what level of pain could the player be in. But there is quite a number of concern. A number of players have come around to see if he's okay, both from Mount Pleasant and Portmore. One thing you have to commend Mount Pleasant for is their medical staff. A number of doctors, grease and oil that Mount Pleasant medical team. See Dr. Bersha Cole there wearing the blue gloves.
And that's perhaps, aside from the obvious talent and coaching, that is perhaps one of the most underrated elements of why they have been so successful over the last couple of years. They are always prepared, excellent nutritional staff, medical staff, excellent right across the board in terms of their organization.
Here is Portmore with possession, looking to take the shot. The shot is taken by Ronaldo Robinson, deflected. It's for a throw.
He's lively in spurts, but if Portmore are hoping to get anything out of this game, he's going to have to make a big impact. Ronaldo Robinson scored a brace, of course, a quick fire brace within just 8 minutes against Racing United in the first leg. They'll be hoping he can conjure up something similar.
Ball taken away by Mount Pleasant, and then immediately just given back to Portmore United.
Bit risky playing out from the back here, but they've done a good job of it thus far, Portmore.
Mentioned cool heads. Oh, there is Daniel Russell. He's brought to ground by Demario Phillips. Head's not so cool there.
Thankfully, it was stopped before it didn't escalate further, but
both would have played together at Mount Pleasant. Not sure that tackle was any at all malicious. The height difference there is quite hilarious, actually.
I was going to say it is indeed laughable.
And might have been just what the game might have needed. The soup is always nice with that extra Scotch bonnet pepper inside.
And some may say it's perhaps not great to view for some of the neutrals or sponsors, but I do like sports or games with a bit of an edge to it. I do like that little needle.
Ball played up by Russell. Headed away by Ming. Whistle on the play, free kick.
Dias pass intercepted there by Jimenez.
Whistle on the play. Minute 56, 57 now, still 0-0. The first matchup saw Mobe winning in the stoppage time of the second half. We expected goals in this one, but so far it's been a cagey affair. The last time both teams played, Mount Pleasant slapped Portmore 4-1. And the game before that, a 1-1 draw. As Kyle Ming is still down.
He too is holding his hand.
Worrying times for Mount Pleasant. Kyle Ming, the appointed captain. Mount Pleasant have been through a couple captains. Kyle Ming being the newest elected. It was Daniel Green during the club championships. As we see Daniel Green and Jashawn Anglin in the warm-up area. John?
Definitely seems to be a sign that Mount Pleasant are beginning to think that they perhaps need to just kick into overdrive now. Of course, 2 legs to play, but they'll want to take a lead going into Wednesday night. And in hopes of that, they're going to bring on a man who is well experienced in getting goals in Daniel Green.
As action gets back on the way. A whistle on the play by referee Nicholson. Free kick for Mount Pleasant just at the halfway line. Clifford Thomas. Kyle Ming is back on and gets possession immediately. Boots it over to Demario Phillips. Lovely back heel there by Phillips to find Marshall. A loss of possession. Here is Portmore. Playing the ball into no man's land was Nicoy Gale. Into touch, a throw-in for Mount Pleasant.
And as a coach yourself, what would you make of so far Portmore United's approach to the game?
I personally believe that Portmore need to get something from this game. The fatigue will come into play on Wednesday. 4 games in about 12 days for them will not be easy, as Mount Pleasant would have been rested for the past week. So Portmore need to find somewhere where they can find a goal scoring opportunity and make use of it, and at the same time ensure that they don't fall behind, because you also don't want to be chasing. I remember hearing you saying earlier, wear on the tires. When those tires start to go bald, anything can happen, especially when you have to get reckless. But here is the Mario Phillips. Ball taken away by Brian. He gets by his defender. Back to Brian. Tries to cut and turn in the center circle. Loses out. And Mount Pleasant come away with it.
Seems he wanted a foul there, judging by his reaction, or maybe I was just frustrated.
Here is Devontae Campbell. Gives away possession, however. Marcus Reed, he has the pace, he has the vigor, he has the passion. Here he goes, looks to play the ball inside, looking for Corey Burke. Miscommunication there, and Shaquan Davis gets it.
Perhaps played the pass just a bit too early. Burke was still trying to set up his run.
See also Warner Brown gets it ready. There's also Krista J. Daly. Fantastic bench Mount Pleasant has put together, I must add that. When you can have Krista J. Daly, Warner Brown and Daniel Green on your bench, my word.
The quality of their depth is really astounding. Huge reason as to why they've been just so dominant, and Portmore playing with fire here at the back.
It's the second time we've seen that lofted back pass to the goalkeeper. Must be very good at his feet. Here is Raheem Edwards. Inside to Howell, he can strike it. Ups to Bailey, Howell gets it back. Lovely pass over the top to Campbell! That should have been in the back of the net. Devontae Campbell free in the penalty area and could not put that one on the frame.
Lovely pass from the young talisman Howell. Fantastic pass to pick out Campbell there, who's looked really lively since coming on. Composed himself and got it in between the two center halves, or the two defenders rather. Both of them looking around as to say, why wasn't the other defender marking him?
Here is Jimenez. Portmore playing with their 9 lives.
Portmore, of course, already have something to celebrate about. Recently won a youth competition.
Knocking out Mount Pleasant in the semi-final.
Most definitely. So they have some sort of experience already with that. They'll be hoping to do the same here at the professional level.
Here is Edwards to Howell, back to Edwards. Corey Burke showing his class there. Too much on the pass, however, into touch, it's a throw for Mount Pleasant.
And I have to say, if they were to repeat that trick and follow up, take the lead of the juniors and do it here, It'd be quite something. It'd be the first time in 4 years that Mount Pleasant would not be in the final. They've come to be a staple, really, of this stage in the competition. The rivalry between them and Cavalier almost reminiscent of the mid-2010s, or latter part of the 2010s rather, in terms of rivalry with their NBA counterparts, Golden State Warriors and the Cleveland Cavaliers. But some would argue in other sports that dominance is perhaps not the greatest thing in the world, and you'd more favor parity for the neutral. But how do you feel about it? Because when you think about all the sports in the world, the greatest moments or the greatest players have come from dynasties and prolonged dominance. So what do you think about that?
Well, that is true. And as you say that, coming on is Peter McGregor, somebody who has marked his dynasty in this Portmore United team in schoolboy football at McGrath, and he has shown that he has the capabilities to score. Coming on from Marcus Reed, and we talk about the players that you want to stand out, the players that you look for. Corey Burke and Peter McGregor now gives this Portmore team a different dimension.
Of course, different option up top. Tej Bryan being substituted for Javier Brown, who actually, I believe, scored or assisted rather.
Yeah, assisted.
Yeah, assisted in the game against Racing last week. He'll be looking to have a similar impact here.
Mount Pleasant has had that dominance for the past couple of years here in the Jamaican landscape, winning the Caribbean Cup as well, so it is regional. But this title here, they've only won it once. They'd love to have it again to show that their local dominance as well. They'd have seen Cavalier lose earlier today and even have a little bit more belief that the title can go their way, as Cavalier has hit them out many times. But here is Phillips, looks to play the ball across the 18-yard area, booted away by Amelia Rousseau. Corner kick for Mount Pleasant.
Look dangerous down that right-hand side on that occasion, trying to just get some numbers, commit some numbers into the box from the set piece, and a lovely nutmeg there by Alex Marshall as he goes across now to take the corner.
As Mount Pleasant looking to make a change, they've been told to hold the change until after the kick. Hard tackle there by the newly arrived substitute Javier Brown.
Warner Brown will have to wait before coming onto the pitch, perhaps after this set piece.
Here comes a change actually. Jabari Howell. He'll be replaced by a man who made headlines with his transfer to Mount Pleasant Football Academy. Everything from the breadbasket went into this one. He looks to bring home the cookies for Mount Pleasant. We'll wait the corner kick. Alex Marshall will swing it inside towards the back post. Clifford Thomas gets ahead to it. Daniel Russell goes up, claims it easily. Whistle on the play. They say a hungry man is an angry man. I wonder about Daniel Russell. He's been very aggressive.
I'm sure they're well fed before the games, but you're definitely right.
He is playing against his old team who would have turned their back on him, so he has a point to prove as well. Here is Peck, plays the ball outside for Burke. Gets by his defender, is Corey Burke. Into the 18-yard area, plays the ball across, off the woodwork. Referee says continue. Oh, there it is. Corey Burke puts the ball into the back of the net. A mistake by Shaquan Davis. 1-0. Corey Burke, a bit of magic, walked around his defender as if he wasn't even there. And that's why Portmore pay him the big dollars.
Most definitely. And we wondered if they could replicate their under-18s success, but they seem to have done that here and in similar fashion as well. Defended well and hit them in transition. And it's a bit of an awkward angle, I have to say. Judging on that replay again, you just wonder, considering he did get a touch to it, Shaquan Davis, could he perhaps have done better?
Looking back at the replay, I wonder if we can get that angle again. I think Shaquan Davis should have saved that. The referee has called a goal. There is no VAR here, right? And I understand why we won't play it back, because it's on the big screen here that might give the referee an option to see it. What will be the decision? It already was deemed a goal. It might be overturned. And for the first time, we've had VAR in Jamaica. The referee is able to see the big screen. Oh, this now might cause a number of problems. The goal should be given because the referee did award it. However, he's overturned his decision. A lot of confusion here at the National Stadium as we watch the replay. Very close indeed.
The fans are going absolutely wild on our side. They want a goal. They're pleading for it practically.
This will cause some serious conflict here tonight. The goal was given and then called back by the referee.
This perhaps could be a landmark moment in Jamaican footballing history in terms of now really starting the push to get more technology, because this is a pretty big moment in this tie.
It is indeed. And you can see every individual showing the goal on the big screen here at the National Stadium. The referee has the ball in his hands. Goalkeeper Russell is down. What I do hope is that the Women's Premier League is watching, because a big screen would have done so much for some replays at the Captain Burrell Centre last night. Some calls that were very questionable.
You mentioned questionable refereeing earlier, Neo. You wouldn't happen to know anything about that, would you?
No comment. But it is key to say, not sure how much having the big screen here might have overturned the referee's decision. But it is safe to say that the Jermaine Easing on the far side, his flag never went up. The man in the middle, Okita Nicholson, he made the call and then went over to speak to his assistant. But it's total chaos here at the National Stadium.
I have to say, it's really, really close. It's really, really close, that one. It's perhaps going to take a bit of time to really decide whether or not he's going to give it. The referee did initially.
A number of messages coming into my phone, John, by referees watching the matchup saying no goal, right? One went as further to say that when the ball hit the post, referee Easing, he ran off, which referee Nicholson might have thought he meant goal, but he was actually following the play coming up, so that's what the consultation led to, and I think it is correct, no goal.
Yeah, definitely does seem as though the right decision was made. Definitely doesn't seem as though all of the ball went over. And you just begin to wonder how much the replay that is available on that far side of the pitch made a difference to the referee's decision there.
Nervous moments for Shaquan Davis, however. Here is Devontae Campbell. Plays the ball inside across the penalty area, cleared by Ramon Howell. Corner kick.
That will be one of the most controversial moments you'll see all season.
Referee Terrell letting me know that the referee can always change his decision once the game has not restarted. Ball swung inside by Mount Pleasant as far as Mario Phillips. Falls down to Fitzroy Cummins. To Peter McGregor. Here goes Romario Guthrie. Acres of space in front of him. Here is Romario Guthrie. Tries to play the ball into Ronaldo Robinson. Falls back to Guthrie. Peter McGregor has it possession now. He looked for the shot. He does! Hits the back of Kimoni Bailey. Here is Peck for Portmore United. Still Peck. Tries to play the ball through to Corey Burke. Here is Burke. Last ditch tackle there by Mount Pleasant Football Academy. Seems to be Demario Phillips. And my word, the goal was not given, but the game is now fully open.
You spoke about it being cagey for most of it, but yeah, you're right. It's definitely fully awake and open now. What a recovery tackle by Demario Phillips, who's been all over the park today.
We mentioned that right throughout the commentary. He was the one who took the shot that was deflected first to come back to his penalty area to make a last-ditch tackle for a corner kick for Portmore. Portmore has sent more numbers up than they've had all evening. 5 white shirts to aim for in the box. Amelia Rousseau swings it in, headed away easily at the near post. Lovely pass by him, trying to find Devontae Campbell. Too much on the play. Goal kick.
Like to see the intent, however. Very creative player, Marshall, and does have an eye for those line-splitting passes. Just unable to find his teammate on that occasion.
He whistled on the play, trying to find the 1-2 movements there was Portmore. As Mount Pleasant look to be going to their bench again. And here comes a man they call Rooney. Joshawn Anglin. Not sure who he'll be replacing. Joshawn Anglin, a more defensive change, you might add.
But also seems to be
Rafa Interval. Another Haitian being injected by coach Theodore Whitmore. Here is Guthrie to Brown to Howell. Calms down the game and passes it back to Rousseau. Peck back to Rousseau. Nicoya Gale has space. Goes for the diagonal pass yet again. Robinson free in the center circle. And here comes the changes for Mount Pleasant now.
wealth of options off the bench, and you can see Tapper Whitmore just giving some instructions to the players on the pitch, but it's the players who are about to come onto the pitch who could really make an impact right now. Interval, really direct player, full of skill and energy.
And speed. Portmore with possession. Remember, it's first playing third here currently, and it really seems that way. This is a team that Mount Pleasant first played with their berth to the top flight here in Jamaica. Here is Raheem Edwards. Edwards looks to take a shot. Falls to Warner Brown! Warner Brown hits the back of the net off the bench. My oh my. A miscued shot from Raheem Edwards and falling in the right place to the right man. A man who definitely needed a goal, Warner Brown.
Of course, I believe he scored just 2 weeks ago, but I have to say, you're right. He's needed a goal, he's needed some confidence this season. But right there, that's an expert striker's finish who doesn't seem low on confidence. What about that turn?
He was played onside by the substitute Brown. Not sure what he was doing around there. And as the ball rolled into the net, no emotions from Coach Whitmore, because he himself knows the job is nowhere close to be finished.
Of course, still about 8 minutes plus possible at a time, which seems inevitable at this point given the time that was stopped for the goal, the disallowed goal, which brings up another point. Portmore will feel aggrieved whether the decision is right or not. They will feel aggrieved that the decision has been disallowed, and just shortly after they've conceded a goal now.
As Alex Marshall and Demario Phillips leave the field, Rafa Interval and Joshawn Anglin, despite scoring, the changes remain the same. A bit surprised by those two changes even after scoring by Coach Whitmore. I guess he means one goal is still not enough.
Mentioned earlier in the pre-match analysis that Mount Pleasant are a team that is a bit more gung-ho. Second top scorers in the league this season, and they're a team that when they have the lead, the control, they tend to put their foot on your neck and go for the jugular rather than be content with just a one-goal lead.
Ball played up by Portmore. Peter McGregor getting a touch on the ball, not really having any dominance at all in this game so far. Here is Russell. Guthrie has it. Despite falling behind, Portmore has not changed anything just yet. Here is Interval with his first touch. Tackled by Peck. Here is Peck. And it's a nibble on the heel by Interval. He gets it. No, well, the yellow card is shown to Guthrie.
The game's been just as beautiful. Surely, hasn't it?
Ball played inside, the heads go up. It's a corner kick for Portmore United. Some big moments so far in this game. And that disallowed goal will be one spoken about for, I can bet you, all the way up to Wednesday. And even further, depending how this tie goes. 1-0. Warner Brown hitting the back of the net. Corner swung inside, the heads go up. Shaquan Davis gets a fits to it. Falls to interval and Mount Pleasant, they're on the move. Into minute number 85. Can expect at least a good chunk of additional time here.
It seems Matthew Bell, former USL player, he's about to come on. And as you can see, the fans hiding. They'll be hoping Portmore United that he doesn't go onto the pitch and hide from the game. Gonna need him to make an impact if they want to get any sort of chance of getting back into this one.
Who do they take off though? Would it be, there's a yellow card issued to Shaquan Davis, if I'm correct. Hopefully my producer can help me out. I did see the card come up.
Ming. It's Kyle Ming.
Oh, Ming. As it's Guthrie who makes way for Matthew Bell. That must mean now that Romario Howell will step more up into the proceedings.
And as the game draws to a close, well, the last 4 minutes of it, the regulation time, or normal time I should say, I do begin to, you have to begin to wonder whether or not Kyle Ming's injury to that left hand or that right hand, will it make a difference?
Here he is, he goes to ground, giving away a foul. Commentator's curse. That's confirmation on the screen there for the yellow card to Kyle Ming. You wonder how many of these spectators got permission to come out tonight. Free kick for Portmore. Ball swung inside, headed away by Clifford Thomas. Thomas gets ahead to it again. Hard tackle there by Nicoy Gale. Into touch though, however, throw in for Mount Pleasant in minute number 88. Here comes another change for Mount Pleasant. As the man himself, Daniel Green, is set to replace the leading goal scorer of the tournament. Failed to score today, which breaks his streak. It's about a six game streak which he scored on. Raimi Edwards is replaced by Daniel Green.
Veteran, wide player. They can count on him in big moments. They'll be hoping that he can perhaps just put the icing on the game, deliver perhaps a late goal.
I'm not sure where Ronaldo Robinson thought he was. He should know the stadium pool is next door. He stays to ground while a whistle on the play.
And again, the screen's just going to cause some issues here because The referee now has a chance to see the replay once more, and
well, surprisingly, there was no foul called by the assistant referee.
To be fair, I think that was I think that was a clean challenge, but just the issue of who it came off of, perhaps.
It has been a foul called by the referee. Here we see the replay again.
He got all ball.
I guess referee Nicholson saw something else.
And that's the second time that a decision that gave the referee opportunity to look over it will have caused Portmore some disappointment. They'll be hoping that it doesn't lead to a goal this time.
Free kick for Mount Pleasant in the 90th minute. They lead this one 1-0 with a goal from Warner Brown. Daniel Green is over it, swings the ball inside, the heads go up. Finds the head of Peter McGregor. I waited to see the number go up for additional time, but here is Matthew Bell for now. Tries to dribble out. But here is Devontae Campbell. Campbell has one to beat. Unable to get by Tyreek Zimenez, and the number goes up. 7 additional minutes here at the National Stadium.
I did expect somewhere in that region about 5 to 7, considering the amount of stoppages, not least that disallowed goal some moments ago for Portmore. Which means, however, there's plenty of time for Portmore to still get back into this, or perhaps even Mount Pleasant just add to their lead. But
here is Peck. Lovely pass to Ronaldo Robinson as he drives into the penalty area of Mount Pleasant. Tries to play the ball inside, and there's a whistle on the play. A free kick for Mount Pleasant. A free kick for Portmore United, as Dyer is, no, I'm not sure what's, a free kick. The referee said it's a throw actually.
Seems to be yet another long one.
Booted away by Mount Pleasant. Finds Devontae Campbell. Here he is. 1v1 with Tyreek Zimenez. Still Campbell. Pushes the ball around Zimenez as Devontae Campbell. And sometimes strength may overcome speed. Here is interval. Peter McGregor for Portmore United. Lovely tackle there by Kyle Ming. Winning back the ball for Mount Pleasant.
Surprisingly, with plenty of time still to go, number of fans leaving.
They have to venture, some to Mobay, some to St. Anne, some to St. Catherine. Local time here, 9:28 p.m. Here is Matthew Bell. Gets by his defender so easily. Plays the ball outside to Brown, who boots it inside. Shaquan Davis ensures that he catches it this time.
Won't really look back fondly at that memory of that shot that hit his hands, then the underside of the bar. But nevertheless, he's remained, well, his goal has remained unbreached thus far.
Here is Campbell to Warner Brown, the goal scorer. Finds Daniel Green, who goes on the dribble. finds Rafa Interval into the area, plays the ball across. Daniel Russell has it safely in his grasp. Misguided kick out by Russell. Here is Peck. Back to Howell. Portmore trying to spread this Mount Pleasant team. Peck looks to boot the ball inside the area. Misguided square, however, falls into the grasp of Shaquan Davis. Just 2.5 minutes here to go at the National Stadium.
And you'd think with that, with so little amount of time left, you'd see a bit more urgency from Portmore, a bit more impetus in the final third, similar to what we saw in the latter stages of the second leg against Racing, but...
Well, there is a second leg to go.
Fair enough. So do you think, based on that, they'd perhaps be...
Rashawn Small comes on for Peck. For Portmore in the dying moments here. Here is Tyreek Zimenez, a pass outside to Ronaldo Robinson. Gets by his defender, Robinson. Plays the ball inside to Ramon Howell, looking for a pass to Corey Burke. He finds it, however, Burke unable to hold it up. Mount Pleasant clear their lines.
Well, I mentioned I didn't really see the level of energy or fluidity in the final third that we would want to see from a team that's down 1-0, but just a few short moments ago they were pressing the life out of Mount Pleasant at the back, showing they still want this game. Just under a minute to go here.
Here's Nicoy Gale. To Small. Back to Russell. Lovely pass played by Zimenez up the top, looking for Bell. Intercepted by Kimoni Bailey. Into touch, a throw in for Portmore. 30 seconds here to go. They've literally brought the game to a walk, so you can tell that they are okay going down one. Come back again to fight another day. A header there by Corey Burke. Shaquan Davis had to make the save. Portmore might have the chance to attack just once more before the final whistle. Or can Mount Pleasant find another? Anglin plays a pass to Green. He tries to beat his defender. Ball played back to Russell. Okita Nicholson looks to his watch. That's it here from the National Stadium. A 1-0 scoreline. Warner Brown hitting the back of the net from a miscued shot by Raheem Edwards. 1-0 for Mount Pleasant Football Academy. And John Stewart, your thoughts on the 90?
It was a bit slow in the final third for the first half, but definitely warmed up in the second. Plenty of moments of madness and brilliance, as I like to say. Of course, the matter of a disallowed goal will cause some debates on social media and amongst fans in barbershops, but as we about to get to our highlights, that's for you to decide. And there you can see chance for Portmore here. Once more, I thought it took a touch off of Kyle Ming, but nevertheless went down for a goal kick. Whereas Mount Pleasant rather with the first chance of the game. Raheem Edwards taking a shot from distance, not able to get it on target, however. And then Johnson Judy, lovely pass into Kimoni Bailey, who couldn't direct his cross into the path of Raheem Edwards. Portmore going down the other end immediately, trying to get an opportunity there, but Fitzroy Cummins holding off his man really well. Long throw, resulting in a shot for Ronaldo Robinson. Just couldn't put it on target, however. It was Jabari Howell turning Nicoy Gale inside out before putting in a cross that was back to the way. Good clearance in the end by Portmore. Clifford Thomas. Wonderful pass to Jabari Howell, racing away down the right-hand side away from Howell, his namesake, but the cross is pushed away by the goalkeeper, and another cross coming in by Ming this time. Unable, however, to find a teammate. Howell with a cross to Judy once more. And his shot, however, just unable to get it on target. And from right there, really could have done better. But perhaps had to take it as quick as he did. I was wondering about the timing of it, considering Zimenez was approaching. But now is another shot for Mount Pleasant, peppering the goal in the first half. That time from Demario Phillips, saved, however, by Russell. Howell had a go as well. His shot deflected and goes off target. A cross coming in for Portmore there, and Corey Burke gets his head to it, unable to get it goalward, but this was perhaps their best chance of the half. Portmore unable to take it, however. Tej Bryan, lovely pass by Romeo Guthrie, I have to say, to get it to him in the first place. And then at the end of the half, pretty hefty challenge there. And then the second half kicked off, and Mount Pleasant are having it all their own way, really. Shouts of a penalty, didn't quite get it, however. And then they had a free kick for Portmore, taken by Tariq Zimenez, who went for power, just couldn't keep it down. And Daniel Russell was living life rather dangerously in the second half. And in the end, a bit of a altercation with his former teammate, and then a lovely, well-worked passage of play headed on, and another skill move here, nutmeg by Alex Marshall. And then there's the big moment, the most talked about point in the game. Had the shot from Corey Burke, taking a touch off Shaquan Davis in goal, and it seemed to some to have crossed the line, but judging by the replay, most definitely didn't, and in the end, referee perhaps made the right call. Nevertheless, it will cause some debate. And as you can see by the reaction of the Portmore players, they certainly believe they had a goal taken away that should have stood. Mount Pleasant once more, however, on the attack, looking for that second goal, and welcoming for that, or decisive goal rather, not long after that disallowed one, and they take the lead there through Warner Brown, last year's Golden Boot winner, after a miscued shot there by Raheem Edwards, this year's Golden Boot winner. And another big moment here where they had to turn to the aid of a big screen to our right hand side for the referee to make his decision.
Well, the statistics show that Portmore had all the control that they needed, except in one bracket, the goal scoring bracket, 60-40. Possession went to Portmore, 9 shots to Mount Pleasant, 6 to Portmore, 4 on target for MPFA, 3 for the team from St. Catherine. They lead in corners at 6, while Mount Pleasant had 3. 3 yellow cards went to Portmore and 1 to Mount Pleasant Football Academy. But the stat that matters, 1-0 over Portmore United. Mount Pleasant, they take this, the first leg of this, the semi-final playoff. Tonight's Jamaica Premier League playoff presentation is proudly brought to you by our valued partners who continue to power the growth of Jamaican football. Special thanks to Ray and Nephew, the official title partner of the Jamaica Premier League. Visit Jamaica, bringing the spirit of Jamaica to the world. We also acknowledge our league partners, CB Foods, Admiral, the Sports Development Foundation, the SDF. Club partners supporting our playoff teams include Chemtech, proud partners of Portmore United, and GIS Institute of Sports, the proud partner of Mount Pleasant Academy. We thank all our sponsors and partners for their continued investment in the development of local football and the future of the Jamaican Premier League. So for the final time here, on behalf of John Stewart and myself, Neo Oxford, the score, Mount Pleasant Football Academy 1, Portmore United 0 in the earlier game, Cavalier 0 Mobile United 1. So all to play for on Wednesday. See you then.
From me yai there me knee, Mummy used to always remind me of those good old Jamaican proverbs to keep me wise. Proverbs like, what goat do, kid follow. Good friend, better than pocket money. And if you can't catch Quaco, you catch him short. Just like the proverbs Bosco Oats is ingrained in Jamaica. From me yai there me knee,
A CB chicken, a better way. Introducing air chill chicken. It have more flavor, you don't know what you're missing. It tastes better, full of flavor in the kitchen. Better value, better taste, better chicken. CB chicken, tastes way better. Air chilled chicken, taste way better. Better value, better taste, better chicken. No antibiotic and hormone free. Have you tasted the new air chilled chicken? Or my chicken nut? CB chicken, it tastes way better.
I save from VM Building Society. Every deposit got me here. Every step forward put me in the driver's seat.
For everything you're looking forward to, open an iSave account today. Visit gotomyvm.com to get started.